Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors. Presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
You're listening to a Countout Podcast.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Independent Waters. I am your host, Mikey Manfredi, and joining me, as always, is Zach, the prize Batista. Zach, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm sick, in case you can't tell on my voice, but you know we're trudging along.
Yeah, I'm sorry you're sick. I don't know how you got sick, but you better get better.
Yeah, I fucking better.
You better get better by this Saturday.
I was literally telling my parents, I'm like, I swear to God, if this shit lasts into Saturday, I'm gonna be mad as hell.
Yeah, so me and Zach, of course, as you heard on the last episode of the show, we are going to be at GCW Into Deep this weekend, and if you find us there, you can get a free T-shirt by showing us that you followed the podcast and gave us a 5-star review on whichever podcast app of your choice. You can get free stuff. So find us at Into Deep in our Independent Waters T-shirts.
It should be a good show.
I'm excited. We did another match just got announced today.
Ooh, what got announced?
Or yesterday. It got recently. It was we got a GCW tag team title match.
Oh.
Between Bussy, the tag team champions, the Briscoes.
Oh.
And Second Gear Crew.
What? Wait, hold on. There's a conflict here for
triple threat tag team match for the GCW tag titles.
I mean, I'll be happy. I'm happy to finally see the Briscoes in person.
Yeah, we get to see the Briscoes in person. We get to see Mike Bailey.
Oh, I can't fucking.
We get to see Mike Bailey live. I'm so stoked.
It makes me being sick, and the potential of me being sick, and just like it more painful if it happens. Please.
And he's going against Janela, who is gonna be like, he's going against Janela, so you know the spots they're gonna come up with are dumb, right?
Yeah.
Like Janela's probably gonna be like, "Hey, I want to do this stupid thing," and Bailey's like, "I'm in." You know, Bailey's not gonna say no.
It's like, say less.
Mike Bailey sent Ninja Mac off of like a giant like. I think they were in the Ukrainian Cultural Center, and he had a match with Ninja Mac, and he like threw him off of someplace really, really high.
I might have been a balcony.
It was sort of like a balcony. It was more like a ledge.
Oh.
Either way, you know that's going to be insane. This night's going to be insane. I'm very excited for Saturday.
Yeah.
But today we have some more matches to talk about from the indie wrestling scene. Zach, I believe you picked a majority of the matches this week, so why don't you tell the people what you brought to the table?
Yes, of course. I brought Keita Murray versus Ray Romero Jr. at Santino Brothers Wrestling Academy, first of the show. And then I brought Jordan Blade versus Notorious Mimi at GCW's Diamond Cup.
Yes, and I brought the prize Alec Price versus Big Beef from a wrestling promotion, from Limitless Wrestling. And I'm very stoked to talk about these matches. We picked the order before we started recording, so why don't we just jump right on into it with our first match: Keita Murray versus Ray Romero Jr. I keep wanting to say Ray Romano, but I know that's wrong.
Oh, man. Let's see. So there's a very slight amount of context for this match.
Okay, what is the slight context?
This is the first round match for the Up All Night tournament. Like a first round match. And Romero is a regular, and this is Keita's first match in the promotion.
Gotcha. Interesting.
Crowd did not like Romero at all.
Yeah, the crowd was very much against Romero.
Which I guess says something when the guy who's literally never been there before gets cheered, like, just, what's the word, just overwhelmed with applause, and then he just gets booed.
Yeah, right? Like, oof. Like, it sucks that it's just, like, the regular of this promotion is getting booed out of the building, while the new guy is just, like, getting all the love.
Yeah. Now, granted, the regular is a massive dick. He's a cock. Let's be real here.
Fair enough.
To the point where the crowd even started calling him Needle Dick.
Got him.
I think he then made a your mom joke of like, yeah, but your mom took it last night. And I was just like, cannot believe. It's just like insert the gif of the guy with his hands on his face, just like going out of screen. Oh,
the hype man gif from the Super Hot Fire.
Yes. Exactly. So, eventually these two do lock up for the first time, and Romero very easily, like, throws Keita right off of him into a corner. He taunts the crowd. Keita then gets some payback by forcing Romero into the corner and lightly, like, just a very light double palm chop to the chest. Like, the most patronizing double palm chop I think I've ever seen.
Just like, eh.
Like, there you go, buddy.
Yeah.
And Romero was pissed off, so much so that he knocked Keita to the ground, and he tries to run the ropes, but then Keita hangs on to his leg, and it causes him to lock Keita in a side headlock, which then leads into a fast-paced acrobatic sequence in which the two of them are like running the ropes back and forth, trying to get the upper hand on each other, but they can't really like get a grip on the other.
Mm-hmm.
I liked how in the middle of this, there were points where Keita were like push Romero off him, and when he knew that he had enough time, he would like style on him by just dancing in front of him. And Romero being like, the audacity of this bitch to dance in front of me.
Just this fucking guy, huh?
Exactly. And after said dancing, Romero chucks him onto the apron and rocks him with a good old classic punch to the face.
Oh wait, sometimes you just gotta do sometimes the old school tactics work the best.
Mm-hmm.
Just punch him
right in the face. And as Keita is reeling from this, Romero is like taunting the crowd now because Keita's been kind of soaking up their attention here, and it lets Keita fight back off the apron and shoulder Romero in the gut. And as he's bent over, he flips into the ring off of his back and nails him with a jawbreaker, multiple kicks to the chest from the floor. Oh, my bad. Then a mule kick to the chest from the floor.
Oh, that was cool. I really liked that, where he just like he where he was just like on the ground and he just bop.
I love that spot. There's like two people I can think of, him and Leo Rush, to do it, and every time they do it, it pops me. I'm just like, I love the way that spot looks.
Yeah, and it was just such a smooth transition from the sit out jawbreaker he did right before it, because he just did the sit out jawbreaker, then just like rolled onto his back, was like,
kick in the face.
Yeah.
So Keita then gets to the top rope, and we then get a very weird spot.
Okay, weird how?
So
talk to me about what the weird spot is.
Keita's on the top rope. And Romero's in the middle of the ring, and he's setting up for a crossbody, and Romero grabs the ref to put him in front of him, right? And I think to myself, okay, I see where this is going. He's going to have to get off the rope, where he's going to, like, use the ref as a shield so he can hit one of the ropes. But no, instead he just throws the ref, like, face first into the corner. And I think to myself, mid-throw, okay, Keita's going to fall off of this. But Keita does it. He just stays up there. He's like, okay, I don't care. And he just jumps off of the, top rope. Gets caught, gets spine buster, and the ref gets up, and he doesn't disqualify Romero, even though he very clearly attacked him.
Yeah, it definitely was weird that he didn't, like, disqualify him or anything, but it was especially weird that exact spot could have happened without the ref shenanigans.
Yep.
You know, like, I would have understood it. I think the idea was that him pushing the ref into the ropes, like, delayed Keita enough for Ray to get his bearings and be able to catch him. I'm going full William Regal here, trying to explain.
Hey man, sometimes you gotta go full Regal because I was sitting there going like, the fuck was the point of that? I mean, you still got spine buster, but shit. Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, this is what I think happened.
The spot is redeemed now in my heart.
But
So-
that's what happened in my eyes. I don't know. But anyway,
Your canon is my head canon now. So, as I said, he catches Keita, plants with a spine buster. Afterwards, he batters Keita for a bit. And when he puts Keita down with a sidewalk slam, he locks him in a stiff chokehold. And eventually, Keita is able to feed off the crowd's energy and get back to his feet, where he sunset flips Romero for an unsuccessful pin. Then he transitions into a single-leg Boston Crab.
Which looked good.
It was a good Boston Crab. And while Romero is able to get to the ropes and even get Keita in a fireman's carry after he gets said rope break, Keita elbows his way out of it by repeatedly elbowing in the face until he's literally like just halfway there to being knocked out. Like he's just limp for a second.
Yeah.
And the two are separating to opposite corners. They then start a super kickoff.
Which was great.
Awesome. Classic super kicks, but just trading back and forth. Like it's like the Wild West are both sitting there and they're like, all right, you fire. One quick draws, the other one's like, oh, that was pretty good. Whatcha! Shuts the other one out.
Yeah. It's just like, all right, your turn. Ow! All right, now my turn. Ah!
And then, initially, Keita seems like he's the winner of this because he gets one kick off and he goes to go for another one. But when he charges at Romero to kick him, he's dropped with a Michinoku driver.
Oh, yeah. Looked great.
It was a good Michinoku driver, yeah. And then Keita retreats to the corner, and it's here where he tries to mount his counterattack in the form of a boot to the face, and then a tornado DDT suplex called the key to your heart.
Oh, what a great name for his finisher.
Keita Murray, the key to wrestling, the key to success, the key to your defeat, the key to your heart.
That's his Twitter @ too, is key to your heart, which I thought was so funny.
Yeah, that was on For the Culture that me and Ryan talked about, because Ryan, I think, hit me with that, and I was like, that's a fucking great name.
Yeah.
So, he then, after he hits the key to your heart, he exposes his knee pad, or he exposes his knee from his knee pad, and knees Romero on the side of the face. Romero kicks out, and Keita is shocked. So they go back and forth, countering each other in order to put the other away, and in the end, Romero rakes Keita's eyes, and then fucking nukes him with a monstrous sit-out powerbomb, and wins.
Yeah. Giant sit-out powerbomb. Looks like it could have put Keita through the ring.
Yeah, I was just like, I guess that's the key to the hospital.
I'm kind of glad Romero got the win here.
Same.
Because the entire match, they were like, they were going over the fact that like, oh, Romero's the hometown boy and Keita's this new guy who's showing up. So I'm glad that the promotion didn't just like bring Keita in to squash one of their own like homegrown, you know what I mean?
Sounds
I'm glad
like a promotion that we
Santino
watched
Bros Wrestling
a while back that had everyone in their roster lose to the outsider people.
Yeah. And yet we still buy tickets to the show on Saturday.
So much so you might be
Anyway.
saying we'd be going there this week. Anyhow,
Yeah.
we digress. What would you give this match's grade, Mikey?
I give it a meh. This match was solid.
I would also give it a meh.
It wasn't like anything spectacular, but it was solid matchup between these two. They both showed off what they're capable of. They both like got their spots in. Romero ended up came off looking pretty good. Keita is probably gonna go do good things somewhere else, and everybody's gonna be fine. And it was all good.
Correct. Let's go into our next match, which would be Blade versus Mimi.
Yes.
At GCW. Oh wow! Just the first, I thought of the Blade, and the first thing I think of is just the AEW wrestler, the Blade.
Yeah. But it is GCW, not Game Changer Wrestling, but Generation Championship Wrestling.
I'm glad you clarified that.
We should clear that up.
Because I didn't even know that until you just said it.
Yeah.
This
But
match,
it's Generation Championship Wrestling, not the other GCW.
The only context you need here is that this match is a semifinal match for the Diamond Cup. Like, it's right before the finals.
Yes, it is. You're right. It is the semifinals here.
So, the beginning of this match is a lot of back and forth holds between these two. And Mimi, I'll be honest, I was surprised to see Mimi hold her own so well against Jordan.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who was surprised by that. I felt like weirded out that I was surprised by it. I was like, should I be surprised? Should I be surprised that Mimi's got a good like ground game and can actually do some shoot wrestling? Or
yeah, I was
I don't know why I was surprised. I feel like I shouldn't have been, but
I looked at her appearance and I'm like, your appearance doesn't scream technical to me. I've never heard of you. Your name is Notorious Mimi.
very sports entertainer.
Yeah,
right?
and I wasn't built up, and like the commentary's like, "Oh, Jordan Blade's this killer. She's like she'll murder you with submissions." And then like I just suddenly see Mimi just like holding her own. I was like,
"Hell yeah,
okay,
hell yeah,
all right, interesting."
I was in. I now I know for sure you are a wrestler.
Yeah. Apparently, also she's usually a face with a name like that. I wouldn't be surprised. But for this match, she was actually the heel.
Yeah, which was shocking.
Mm-hmm. Very much like felt like
it was shocking that the one in bright pink and bright blue was the heel in the match, and the person who was just in like all black, like UFC style garb, was the face. Yeah, it was a bit odd. Anyhow, we digress. Yeah. After these two separate from this like back and forth, Mimi tries several times to kick Jordan, and Jordan like just keeps like she's just like, this is fine. Then she eventually catches her foot. She's like, okay, listen here, you. Well, hey. And
then she shoves her to the ground and then picks her back up to hit a trio of suplexes, a German, exploder, and then a gut wrench.
Yeah.
Which is what I expected from a Jordan Blade match. After this, the two then exchange variations of headlocks on each other until Mimi, can we talk about this? Blatantly low blows Jordan right in front of the ref.
Yeah.
And the ref doesn't do a thing.
Referee discretion, baby.
I'm like, what the fuck is with these refs just letting wrestlers do things that they shouldn't? I'm like, that's a low blow. Even the crowd was like, yo.
What was that? Hey. Hey.
This ref was like, no, I can't see. I'm blind. I've got like no perception at all.
The ref's like, what? What happened?
No, she kicked her in the gut.
Oh, it was fine.
Mm-hmm. And while this man had apparently bothered the ref, it pissed Jordan off, and she sounded off with several strikes on Mimi after this. Got her up in a fireman's carry position, but Mimi elbows her way out of it, and then Shining Wizards her in the face, which causes Jordan to retreat to a corner to recover. So Mimi sees this, she's like, okay, well, here I go running, and she charges at her, and Jordan throws her over the ropes and onto the apron, and Mimi grabs her arm as she's over there and yanks it down over the top rope. And after this, basically, Mimi is playing the role I thought Jordan would be, which is just finding a body part and targeting it for the rest of the match.
Going right, yeah, finding, like you said, scoping out that arm and just going, like, right after it. Just target Mimi with target locked on Jordan Blade's arm.
Yeah, and I guess it's supposed to put Jordan off her game because, like, she just beats down on Jordan and her arm for a while until she chops Jordan across the chest, and at this point she's been pissed off by her so much that she starts to fight back with her own chops until she hits a particularly loud-sounding one. Mm-hmm. And then she snapmares Mimi into the ring and drop kicks her in the back while she's sitting in the ring. Unfortunately, though, Mimi cuts her off because she drop toe holds her into the middle ropes. As she's dazed, she crosses Jordan's arms across her face and locks her in a seated surfboard hold.
Which was cool.
Mm-hmm. Classic. This hold for the longest time gave me the hardest time describing because I was like, how the fuck do I describe someone sitting down with their knee in someo's back while their arms are like...
While their arms are crossed over their neck.
Yeah. Or their arms are pulled back and I'm like, It's like, but anywho,
I think I just wrote down like cross arm headlock or something like that.
Yeah, pretty close. So eventually, Jordan starts to fight her way out of it, and just when she's like at the very all right, she's about to get her second win back, Mimi hits her with her signature pump kick. She calls "Stairway to Heaven."
Nice,
good name,
great name,
good looking pump kick.
I would argue to say great name.
So. Now that she's back in control, Mimi once again is she's going right after this arm. She's like a rabid dog that's just not letting go. Mm-hmm. And this time it's stopped because Jordan almost rolls her up. And then the moment Jordan gets her opportunity, finally she hits consecutive chops and running strikes on Mimi to knock her back into the corner. Jordan has finally mounted her comeback, and she hits Mimi with a running back elbow. Several standing back elbows to the side of the head, and then a double underhook suplex out of the corner, followed by a Samoan drop. The Samoan drop did not look great, I will say.
Yeah.
I remember I was like, someone didn't fall the right way.
Speaking of not looking great, a lot of the strikes in this match didn't.
Yeah. I was going to get to that eventually. It's like,
which is kind of annoying, because it's a Jordan, it's like with how Jordan Blade is presenting herself, with the whole UFC, killer get up, right? It's like you would expect some heavy striking, but I don't know. There just wasn't that in this match.
Yeah, they were like
a lot of the shots fell flat for me.
The chops were like the few examples where it's like, okay, there we go. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but there was like elbows and kicks that just kind of like didn't. It just felt like
it's like a wet pool noodle.
Yeah, it was just like there's just nothing there. Yeah.
Yeah. In general, like these two did
like
not
somebody
have
somebody like give it like a slap or something. You know, like let me hear it.
Exactly. I don't know. On this topic, I feel like these two's chemistry wasn't the best together.
Yeah, it felt like was this their first time fighting each other?
No idea. I probably should have looked that up.
It kind of felt like it was like because like you said it was there was like a lack of chemistry there. I felt like there needed to be something else. Like this match just felt kind of lacking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I will. Anyway, yeah, let's continue with our review here. And it was we were talking about that Samoan drop.
By the way, to answer your question, I just looked it up. Yes, this is her first match with Jordan Blade, according to Cage Match.
I want to see I want to see them have more matches together because there was something here.
Yes,
between these two, it just needs to be ironed out. You know. So,
back to the aftermath of the the meh Samoan drop. Mimi kicks out and hits Jordan with a jawbreaker. And while Jordan does lift her up in a fireman's carry, in response to this, Mimi elbows way out of it and locks in a brutal-looking, like, bridging Fujiwara armbar on the arm she'd been working all match. And I was like, oh, damn. I'm like, okay, you know what? Well, side note, great-looking finisher. Bridging Fujiwara is a good-looking finisher.
Agreed.
And this is where the ending comes. It's a bit sudden here because it's apparently so effective that Jordan, when she gets out of this hole, is so pissed off that she has just been doing this to her all match that she just out of pocket knees her in the side of the face and then just forearms her in the head over and over until she knocks her the fuck out and wins.
This is what I wished all the strikes looked like in this match.
Yeah.
Because this ending sequence made Jordan Blade look like an absolute murderer. And I was like, where was this the whole rest of the match?
Yeah.
Where was this Jordan Blade the whole match? Like, right?
Yeah, this felt like a lion was playing with its prey and letting the prey, like, get in on it, and then eventually it, like, went too far and the lion's like, and now you're dead.
Yeah, like, I just wish that energy was there the whole match. Like, I wish Jordan was, like, came out the gate with the just straight up murder energy.
Yeah.
Like, because at the end there, she just beat the absolute snot out of Mimi with a few elbows. She was just raining elbows down on her, and the ref was like, all right, enough.
I remember just being like, wow, she just, like, stepped that up so fast to just, like...
Yeah, and she won via knockout. Like, that's so cool. Like, that's so cool. It's so unconventional in a wrestling match. Like, I just wish we saw more of that the whole time, you know?
As opposed to... it was a lot more Mimi dominated, I will say.
Which is like fine because which could be like fine because Mimi was the heel of this match and you want Jordan Blade to have this like comeback thing, but it's like why try to play this like underdog angle with Jordan Blade when clearly she could just look like she's murdering somebody.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't know. I feel like if the roles were reversed here and Blade was the heel and Mimi was the face, this match could have been amazing.
Yeah. It makes me wonder who was in the finals that they felt the need for Jordan to be cheer. I mean, you just say she's hometown, right?
Is she?
I thought you did, but I might miss it.
I'm not sure.
It makes me wonder who her opponent's going to be in the finals. They were like, Jordan needs to be cheered.
Yeah, it seemed weird to me because like I feel like if the roles were reversed and Jordan was an absolute killer heel that whole match, and then Mimi had a comeback or something like that, the match would have been. And then, like, if Mimi was like staging this comeback with the underdog beating down Jordan Blade, and then Blade just like knocks her down and then just beats her to death and gets the knockout. Right? Imagine the nuclear heat going into the final she would have gotten. I don't know. I feel like if they just played up Jordan Blade as a killer heel, it would have been like, mwah.
I agree. It's for this reason. I'm giving this match a meh.
Yeah, same.
Match is fine. It could have been a lot better. If these two are in a match together again at a later date, I'd be willing to watch it again to see if they were able to improve their chemistry and the match flow.
Yeah, same here. I would love to see these two. I would love to see these two. I would love to see these two fight again, but with the role, like I said, with the roles reversed.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see Jordan Blade be the monster heel and Mimi just be the scrappy underdog. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Underdog Fantasy is the fastest growing fantasy app and easiest place to play fantasy sports. Just jump on UnderdogFantasy.com or download the app, draft your team, and that's it. And if drafts aren't your thing, they also have a pick'em game where you can win 20 times your money in a single night. Use promo code RADIO, and Underdog will double your first deposit when you sign up with up to $100 in bonus cash. Deposit $100, get $100 free. That's promo code RADIO. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive presents Forced Metaphors about bundling your home and auto.
In sports, 3 goals is a hat trick. And when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, you get a hat trick of great savings and round-the-clock protection. So you might be thinking, wait, that's 2 things. A hat trick is 3. But in this metaphor, great savings counts as 2 goals, and so does round-the-clock protection. So it's like 4 goals, and that's more than 3. It's basic math.
Forced Metaphors, presented by Progressive. Bundle and protect today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Discount not available in all states or situations.
All right, so let's go into the last match. Now, I'm completely biased for this match already because if you know me, I'm a massive Alec Price fan.
Yeah, you love Alec Price.
I love my absolute shithead heels that are just the most cockiest motherfuckers on the face of the planet. He has everything I want in a heel. And then I got Big Beef, a man I've never heard of.
Big Beef?
But I love the name.
Yeah. This match starts off fast.
The context of this match is fucking wild.
Oh, tell us about the context.
Okay, so first off, oddly enough, we did a theme this week of tournament matches because this is
again.
Yeah, again. We have a semifinal match for the Vacation Land Cup. And this was originally going to be Alec Price versus Love Doug, I believe, as I've got the name correctly.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was the name of the commentary I kept saying. Love Doug. And
I do love Doug.
Let's see. I'm going to make sure this is his name now. Yeah, there's a wrestler named Love Doug.
Love Doug. Yep. Great.
So, he was supposed to have...
It's Dude Love's weird cousin.
So he was supposed to fight Price, but he got attacked by Ava Everett and Charles Mason with scissors.
Oh?
Yes, and the commentator that sounds very annoyed this whole match is the guy who basically saved him because he's friends with Love Doug. And he basically, the whole match, he's going on about how...
I'm never going to not laugh at Love Doug.
He's basically going on about how, it's despicable that these guys literally have to work for anything, and then Doug gets his chance, and he gets fucking assaulted with scissors.
I'm sorry. What was his name?
Doug.
Love
Doug.
Thank you.
No problem. I will respect his name. So, Beef was their replacement. And Price was not expecting Beef at all. The match literally starts, at mid-entrance. Beef throws his jacket at Price and just beats the shit out of him.
Goes right after him. It was awesome.
Beats him down, double underhook suplex, whips out a drop kick, clubs him across the face with forearms. Price is literally and the commentator's it's kind of bullshit that Price is preparing for another guy, and then this mountain of a man shows up and is just manhandling him now.
Yeah, because I with that line, it made me assume that Love Doug is not a big man.
It must have
or
been,
a big person.
Yeah, because that
I do not know Love Doug's gender. Anyway, we're
not
talking about.
Anywho,
we're not talking about Love Doug as much as I would love to talk about. Yeah, next time we do an episode like this, because next week's episode is going to be special. We'll talk more about that later. We need to do a Love Doug match because that name is too good.
Yeah. So, as I said, beats the shit out of Price. Continues on until he's got Price laying on the middle ropes. He goes for a crossbody into his back. At the last second, Price slips out of the way, so Beef goes just sailing out of the ring. Bye-bye, see you next week. Whee! And then Price says, fuck your normal tope, and instead of doing a straight tope, he just jumps out of the ring onto Beef.
I love, before we continue, I love the look that Alec Price gave straight into the camera when he saw that Beef was on the outside, and he was like, I'm gonna get him.
Yeah. I fucking love his facial expressions.
Yeah, he was like, oh, I'm gonna get him now.
Yeah. He lands on his feet, he gets some payback in the form of strikes of his own. Beef tries to fight back, but Price counters it, an Irish whip of his, by jumping onto the apron, and then jumping onto Beef to tornado DDT him into the floor, which looked smooth as hell.
Mm-hmm.
Beef's getting up, and Price goes under the ring and gets himself a chair that he sets up. The two try to then suplex each other through said chair, but both are thwarted by the other. And in the end, Price is like, fuck it. And he just super kicks Beef in the face.
Sometimes it's the easiest solution.
So Beef falls back onto the chair. He gets onto the apron, tells the crowd to move, and then just full sends it running sentons into him, knocking him and the chair over.
Yes, which was great.
Mm-hmm. Rolls him back to the ring.
Before that, I want to talk before when he did the tornado DDT to Beef. The way Beef sold it was immaculate.
Yes, it was very good.
He got up and was just like arms out like a zombie, and then just fell again. It was really funny.
So after this running senton, he rolls Beef back into the ring, brutalizes Beef, or pounds Beef, as they say.
Tenderizing Beef. Yeah, there we go. Hey. We got there. So we got there. Mm-hmm. That's our chemistry at work, baby.
Yeah, there we go. So he then boots him in the face, drop kicks him in the chest, into the in the corner, locks him in a sleeper hold. But Beef, the big bastard that he is, just refuses to go down. He fights his way back thanks to a series of headbutts.
That's always I love when people fight back with headbutts, because it's just like, I feel like no one's really gaining an advantage here, but like, I'm so proud of you for just like going for it.
You both hurt, but you know what? Take this commemorative award for just saying fuck it.
Yeah, for just saying fuck it and just bashing your head into somebody else's.
Mm-hmm. So then at this point, Price is like, all right, I'm gonna cut his momentum off and hit a tilt-a-whirl. I think it would be it probably would have been the what's the name the prize possession, probably.
The prize possession. Is it the prize possession or the price possession? Because he's Alec Price.
He's the prize fighter.
Oh yeah, so
okay, that makes sense. The prize city. I forgot the name of where it is actually he's from off the top of my head.
Yeah.
So he goes for that, and then Beef fucking throws him off, and then just slams him to the mat with a German suit. He's like, I'm spinning, and he's like, you're off of me, and now you're in the ground. Good
night.
Yeah. So the two then get up on opposite sides of the corner, as they do in these matches. Price goes goes for a running strike to start things off, but Beef kicks him in the face and then dominates him with running strikes for bowling him over with like just his whole body. Mm-hmm. He then rams his knee into Price's face, backdrop suplexes him out of the corner, manhandles him with a full Nelson slam, and Price defiantly fights out a powerbomb attempt from Beef. But then he makes the absolutely fucking awful mistake of slapping Beef across the face.
Yeah.
Boy, does his face show that he regretted that. Don't slap your meat, kids. There. Listen private.
Zach.
I could. The joke was too obviously there. I had to.
I'm more mad it got me.
I'm glad it got you. Oh, okay. So he regrets it, tries to run away from Beef. Beef catches him, pops him up with one hand, and slams him into the mat. He runs the ropes, jumps into the air, and then just full-on sits onto Price's chest with the force of, like, a wrecking ball. Like, it was...
Yeah.
Wind was gone out of Price.
Yeah, if a man like that lands on your chest, it's gonna suck.
Yeah. A Price kicks out, surprisingly.
Yeah, definitely was surprising. That is for sure.
So Beef's like, all right, up to the top rope we go, because in every wrestling match, if the normal stuff doesn't work, off the top's the only way it's going to do it.
Oh, yeah.
And Price defiantly fights for control, but Beef quells that with a series of headbutts that just knock Price nearly off the ring post itself.
Mm-hmm.
It just looks like Beef's going to power slam him off the top rope. Price counters it with a tilt-a-whirl face buster, if I had to describe it, that he calls the prize possession that we had talked about before.
Yes. Off the top rope.
Mm-hmm. And as Beef is struggling to his feet, Price, I love his fucking energy, screams, I'm going to the finals! And then he runs at him and hits him with the surprise kick to the back of the head and wins the match.
And of course, it calls his shot.
I love his energy. That shit gave me like I'm going to Disneyland vibes right there.
Yeah, it did. It was really good.
You know, it was a great showing by Beef and Price.
I don't know why the sentence "it was a good showing by Beef and Price" really got me. I think it's just because the guy's name is Big Beef. I think that's just like, it's just amazing.
That's the price you have for having such a big beefy name.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I watched like I said, I watched Big Beef in a death match with Levi Everett, so like my life is made.
You know, I thought this was a great match. I would give this match a high meh.
Yeah, me too. This one was solid. Definitely really good back and forth for somebody who was like a last minute replacement. For Love Doug, who I'm sure it was a storyline, so they probably had big beef the whole time anyway. But for someone who was a last minute replacement, quote unquote, Big Beef did a really good job and showed off what he was made of, and I think really showed the crowd that he's not just like his name is funny. His name may be funny, but he isn't a joke, Yeah,
that's a good way of describing him. This man will bowl you the fuck over and squeeze the life out of you.
He will wreck you if he has the chance, so do not take Big Beef lightly, I guess. Anyway, that is all of our matches this week. I really enjoyed I enjoyed all of the matches we watched this week. I really enjoyed the matches we watched this week. I think I expected more from all of them, which is weird to say, I guess, But either way, they were all very good, and I very much highly recommend you watch them, and you can go find the links to those over on our Twitter. If you follow us at Indy Waters, you can see all of the links to all the matches that we watched of this week's episode when we tweet about the release of this episode, which should be out already if you're listening to this, obviously. And you can go follow us. You can go follow us on many other platforms as well on the Countout Network. If you can follow Countout Network on Facebook, Countout a Wrestling Podcast Network. Subscribe on YouTube to Countout a Wrestling Podcast Network, and follow Countout as well on Twitter at CountOutPod, where we do all kinds of stuff, and I'll have a bunch of other shows on the network, such as Talk to Your Friends About Wrestling, Your Dose of Death, Pure, Okada Shorts, Ring Post Radio, so many things. So many things on this network, so much podcast for you to enjoy, and we have a lot of articles as well that you can go check out over on countoutpod.com, where you can go check out articles written by our awesome team of writers, and you can also go buy our merch if you want to support the Countout Network. Go to countoutpod.com/store to get yourself a Countout t-shirt. You can get yourself an Indy Waters t-shirt there as well, but if you don't want to pay for an Indy Waters t-shirt, you can come see me and Zach this weekend, this Saturday, April 30th, at GCW Into Deep at the Showboat in Atlantic City. Me and Zach will be there along with Countout family member Sean Taggart of Pure. We will all three of us will be there in the flesh. If you want to come say hi, come meet us. Me and Zach will be wearing our Indy Waters t-shirts, so you can come find us there. And if you find us, like I said earlier, if you find us, give us a 5-star review and subscribe to the podcast feed. We will give you a free t-shirt. We have all kinds of sizes ranging from small to double XL. So come find us this weekend at GCW Into Deep.
It should be a fun time.
Yeah, I'm really excited. The card's looking pretty dope. And I cannot wait to see all of these people live that I have not seen live before, and of GCW show, which is always a good time. So it'll be a blast this weekend. Come find us if you want some free merch from us here at Indy Waters, and hopefully we'll see you there. Zach, you got anything to plug?
No, besides the fact that I'm still sick, and I apologize for the low energy by the end.
All right, Zach plugging the fact that he's sick. Awesome.
It's just slowly but surely, maybe one day you'll get a plug.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing. Next week's episode, we won't be doing a normal episode. Like I said, we will be attending Into Deep, so we will be doing a rundown of that on next week's episode. Just so because we're excited about it and we want to talk about it, and we think this show is the perfect place to do it. So next week will be our GCW Into Deep special, where we talk about the whole card and how we liked it. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the show. So we got the plugs out of the way, we got the matches out of the way, we got everything out of the way. So that just leaves me with one thing left to say, and that is to remember that there is a gigantic sea of independent wrestling out there.
So never stop exploring.
has been a Count Out Podcast.
Hey guys, gals, and non-binary pals.
It's Amanda Bones.
And I'm Ashley.
Of How to Talk to Your Friend About Wrestling, the podcast on the Count Out Wrestling Podcast Network, a weekly show where we talk about all of our favorite things, babes, blood, and brutality.
We also talk about other fun things, like is Kenny Omega finally too tan? And how much blood is too much blood? Because that looks like way too much blood.
So join us on the adventure of teaching me, Amanda Bones, about wrestling.